for anything that can be done. However, what is the offense to the holy name? The offense to the holy name is that I'll continue doing anything and everything, and then I'll think I'll chant the holy name and I'll be forgiven. That is misuse of the holy name. We are using the holy name for some nasty purpose. The holy name is not meant for that. Okay, Jai Shri Caitanya Charitamrta ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Continuing now to read Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam. Life, nectar of the
surrendered
souls. Yes, the surrendered soul. Positive
and progressive immortality.
Very good. Positive and progressive immortality. How is there going to be progressive immortality without surrender? Surrender is the life of devotion. Nobody is opposing anything in Krishna's will. Now we've come to chapter 10, chapter 9, words of nectar from the Supreme Lord. And this is chapter 10, divine remnants of nectar. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Pariprachakacharya Astatar Satasri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Sankirtyatmano Bhagavan. Never mind. Sankirtyatmano Bhagavan Ananta Shuchanubhavo Vyas Sanam Hipungsam Pravishya Chittang Vidinotya Shesham Yatatamorko Brahm Ivativata. From the Bhagavatam. When the singing of the glorious qualities of the Supreme Lord's Hari's personality is heard, He, the Lord, enters into the hearts of men to banish all of their miseries. As the sun dispels the darkness and strong winds disperse the clouds. So we're going to read this again. When singing the glorious qualities of the Supreme Lord Hari's personality is heard. So when anyone hears the singing of the glorious qualities of the Supreme Lord Hari, the Lord enters into the hearts of such persons to banish all of their miseries. As the sun dispels the darkness and strong winds disperse the clouds. So we know we're not praying to the Lord to dispel our miseries in the sense of that the experiences of the senses will now become pleasant. Whatever is required by us for our progress, we want that. Whatever it is, and the Lord will arrange that. But He dispels the misery of our attachment to fleeting desires for fleeting things, and all the nonsense that goes along with it. That He will dispel. And that's what we've been hearing also in the Sri Caitanya Charitamrta. Mrisha sthaya satya satkata nakatyate yad bhagavan adhokshaja tadeva satyam taruhaiva mangalam Tadeva punyam bhagavad gunodayam. Those words in which the glory of the transcendental Lord, Sri Hari, are not sung, such imaginary, deceptive utterances are to be known as falsehood. No matter what they are. They can be direct verses in perfect Sanskrit from the Veda. But if they do not describe the glories of the Lord, they are to be known as falsehood. And those, what to speak of any modern kind of nonsense things. At least we should know this. There's no truth in that. And those words in which the divine qualities of the Lord appear, such expressions are to be known as truth, the bestower of all success and the source of all virtue. So those words which do not glorify the Lord and which encourage us to taste the terrible, burning poison of material life, those are to be known as false, and those who are singing those are to be known as unfriendly to us. Tadeva ramyang uchirang navanavang, tadeva sashvan manaso mahotsavam, tadeva sukhanava shoshanam nyunam, yad uttama shloka yasho nugiyate. Those words in which the renown of uttama shloka, Sri Hari, and that name of Krishna means he, the singing of whose glories destroys the ignorance of the world. Those words in which the renown or the fame of Uttama Shloka Sri Hari are broadcast at every second. Those words which are constantly broadcasting the fame of Uttama Shloka Sri Krishna, such expressions alone constantly bestow newer and newer nectar. They inaugurate the heart's grand festival, and they dissolve the ocean of lamentation. And that alone can do that. Those words alone. So we have to think, are these things I'm listening to dissolving the ocean of lamentation? Are they awakening a heart's grand festival? That real heart? And are they bestowing newer, that means fresh, never known before, newer and newer nectar in myself? But even if we are in the darkest position, if we hear these words, that will begin. It is life-changing. We all know this. Natavachaschitra padang harer yaso jagat pavitrang pragrinita karichit tarang shatirtang natuhang sasevitam yatra chutas tatra hisadavo mulaha. Again from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Those utterances, that means those words, what is being said, that despite their charming ornamental presentation, never describe the renown of Sri Hari, which alone purifies the universe. Such words attract only the crow-like, superficial men, and they never are attended by the learned. I'm going to read this again. This is because the immaculate-hearted sadhus adore the melodious words that sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. So I'll read that verse again. Those words which are spoken, any words that are spoken, which are charming and ornamental, very poetic, but they do not describe the fame of Lord Hari. They attract only crow-like superficial men. The words that describe the renown of Hari purify the universe. And so any utterances or any descriptions which are given, which do not describe the Lord's glories, no really truly learned person will ever waste their time on those words. This is because those pure-hearted sadhus only adore the melodious words that sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. Any questions about anything so far? Yashashriyameva parishrama paro varnashramachara tapashutadishu avishmiti sridhara pada padmayor gunanuvada Sravanadara Devi. Again, this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. The prescribed duties of the Varnashram hierarchy, so the Varnashram system, the performance of austerity, the study of the scriptures, belabored adherence to such practices, merely pander to one's reputation and influence. But by the divine services beginning with devotedly hearing the glories of the Lord, the supreme reward of never forgetting the lotus feet of Hari is gained. Okay. So someone who belabored means very hard work. Someone who is very hard in following the principles strictly of the prescribed duties of the Varnashram system and performance of austerity and studying the scriptures, meaning all the different scriptures, to become a scholar. Those practices actually increase only the mundane reputation and influence of a person. They don't actually give any real benefit. Is that clear to everybody? They're mundane. There are mundane results. Anything that doesn't awaken devotional service is mundane. Period. The divine plane begins with pure devotion. It doesn't have any anything that is for anything other than the service of the Lord is not spiritual. It's mundane. Even if it is mystic yoga perfections, severe austerities leading to punya, leading to power in this, power and influence in this world. All of those things are mundane if they have nothing to do with the Lord, with Vishnu. But by the divine services beginning with devotedly hearing the glories of the Lord, the supreme reward comes to the heart of a person. And what is that supreme reward? Never forgetting the lotus feet of Sri Hari. And therefore, all miseries of life are completely vanquished. So smartavyam sadata Vishnu vismartavyam najaduchet sarva vidhi nishedasyor etoyor eva kinkaram. Always remember the Lord, Vishnu. Never forget him. All the vidhis, all of the things which say do this, and all the prohibitions, don't do that, they only serve one purpose. And that is the purpose of remembering the Lord. That's all that they are doing. They're promoting remembrance of the Lord and completely no fear of forgetting the Lord. Any questions or comments? Nigama kalpataro galitam palam shuka mukaramrittadrava samyutam pibatta bhagavatam rasam malayam muhoraho rasika bhuvibu bhavukaha. This holy scripture, which describes the glories of the Supreme Lord, has descended intact from the wish-fulfilling tree of the Vedas, and it is enhanced by the nectar of the lotus mouth of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. So what holy scripture is being described? That's coming from Shukadeva Goswami. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. I know that you know this. O connoisseurs of the mellows of devotion, please constantly relish this fruit, which is the embodiment of those mellows. O devotees blessed with heart's devotion, as long as you are not utterly dissolved in the reality of ecstasy, that is, as long as your hearts are not merged in devotional mellow, then taste the Srimad Bhagavatam in your life, in this world, as a pure scripture of divinity. And even when your hearts are overflooded, you will perpetually continue to drink this supreme divine nectar. Another example of eternal existence. This is purifying us, and after full devotion, it will give our sustenance and great joy. Isn't that wonderful? Who will take to any other process but devotional service, which purifies us and gives divine nectar and continues to nourish us eternally? Like, what else are we going to do? All right, I'll finish up here because this is so condensed. Any questions from anywhere? So we haven't been broadcasting on Facebook for the last few days because we switched over to YouTube. But at this, now we're going to be broadcasting on both for all of our programs here at the temple, Sri Caitanya Saraswat Mission. Bhagavad Gita class every Wednesday, beginning at 6:30. And our Friday program is also at 6:30 in the evening. And our Sunday program at 11:30 on Sundays in the morning. And all the morning classes. All of these will be broadcast both on Facebook and on YouTube. Even though Facebook, you can't really keep anything, but that doesn't matter. You know, we're trying to serve in eternity, in the plane of eternity. What will happen as a result, we don't know actually. But we're simply trying to serve in the moments of our lives. as we think it is good service, we will try. And the result of that, that's not our business, really. We're trying for something in devotion, but what will really happen, that is up to Krishna. So we are trying to offer whatever we do at any time to the infinite, and the infinite will mold it. He will form it in his own way, and that result will come to us. That is the beauty of Sharanagati. And it is eternal. We have to really understand this principle. It's very wondrous and powerful.
I'm reminded of when you mentioned that we're going into this process without really knowing what the end result is.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me of when I was distributing Chant Be Happy at the park.
Uh-huh.
I walked up to someone skateboarding inside the skate park, and I asked them, hey, I have these books, I'm giving them out to the people here. And he looked at it and said, oh, I don't mess with that stuff, like I'm scared of it. But it made me wonder, like well, what is there to fear? Like, where does that feeling of fear come, when they see these things?
That's an interesting question. So Axel Prabhu was saying that when he was distributing books at the park, he came to someone who was on a skateboard doing some skating. And he said, oh, I'm giving out these books today to people. Would you like one? And he said, oh, no, I don't. He looked at the book and said, no, I don't. I'm scared of that kind of stuff. And I don't know where his fear particularly is coming from. But we can reassure everyone that everything that we do in this world, if we are attached to it, it will cause fear. Right? Because it won't remain. But this will remain. And if we can understand the principle of fear and understand that we are looking for, therefore, something which is not causing fear. If we were only surrounded by fear, then what is it in me that is looking for fearlessness? That is something in my own self. And that thing is there. So what is that thing? This book just talks about that.
I tried to say a little more on it, but he just looked like he was so, like, maybe something might have happened to maybe someone he knows, or looking deep into something, or I don't know. And he just, I'm sorry, like, I don't want to. And he just left.
Yeah, sometimes people have some experience with something that shows itself to be representing truth in a spiritual sort of way, and then they become, completely disillusioned by some event that has made them, oh no, that was traumatizing for me, I don't want to deal with this, or whatever it was. But he saw the front cover of the book, and I'll tell you a story. In Chicago, I don't remember the year, it might have been Jai Sripadikashishi Guru Gaurachandra Ju Ki Jai Shikiri Raj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. So I think it was maybe 1974. But in Srila Prabhupada came to Chicago. And at the time we had just gotten the Chicago temple. And there wasn't a really nice room for Srila Prabhupada to stay. So we got a nice apartment for him. And we went every day bringing so many things to him and prasadam and all that. And then he would also come to the temple many times. But we were in his apartment. And I asked him a question about about distribution, like when we're speaking to people and how to, I can't remember the question clearly right now. I should jog my memory later on. It's something like, what is the best way to help people? What is really the best way? And he said, disturb them. I thought, wow, that's right up my alley. No, he said, disturb them. Because they're sitting peacefully in a very dangerous situation. So go and disturb them. And he said, and he picked up a book, Nectar of Devotion, was sitting on his desk. And he said, if they see even the front cover of this book, their life has changed, and that is permanent.
Wow.
So go and disturb them. Srila Prabhupada.
Nyasi Maharaj was telling me and Jayadeva a story of when Prabhupada was speaking with, there was some man, and he was Nyasi Maharaj was picking up.
Maybe, do you have one of these? Because, is there another one there?
Yeah.
Okay, is it on? Is it on?
No, it's not on.
It's on.
Oh, yes, okay.
Okay.
So he told me, or he told us that he was folding up this, I think it was like some kind of chair, and it was too like wide, and when he was trying to go into the room, he kept like bumping into the sides of the door. And when he finally walked in, Prabhupada said, and this is the temple president of the Chicago temple.
So this is a story from Nyasi Maharaj, and in those days, he started the Chicago temple in 1972, and Srila Prabhupada. This is a really funny story, and so his name was Sri Govinda Das at that time, and he's got a table and he was trying to bring it into Srila Prabhupada's room, but it was too wide to go through the doorway, so he kept, oh no, they could hear you, I forgot they could hear you. So he's trying to get in and he keeps knocking on the side of the doorway. And Srila Prabhupada said, and here's the president of the Chicago temple. Maharaj is telling this story. Haribol. So nice. Oh, many lovely stories about Prabhupada in those days. And now it's 9 o'clock, but later on, sometime we'll tell some more stories. Oh, so many nice stories. Srila Prabhupada's influence was unaccountable. No one can conceive of what he did, actually. It's easy to influence people to go crazy at a rock star band concert because people are already ready to do that. They want to go crazy about something, so nothing's actually going on, but everybody's going crazy about it. So that kind of influence is easy. Or to get people really riled up in hatred of other people. That's easy. All these things are easy. That's not real influence. But to influence millions of people to try to give up material life and take to pure devotion, like not even ordinary devotion to God, which has, you want to get to heaven, you want to be good so people will like you, and your religious community will respect you, and all these things. That's easy. But pure devotional service, forget about it. Nothing in it for me? Actual devotion? Come on, what do you want from me? But Prabhupada did that. so influential. You cannot believe how many people went to the Rath Yatra in Chicago. And Prabhupada came. Chicago.
The first one was in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, the first one was in San Francisco.
Was there?
And Los Angeles.
And Los Angeles.
And then Los Angeles.
And then Chicago, right?
And New York City. And we had in Chicago, and Srila Prabhupada sitting on Lady Subhadra's cart.
Wow.
And the whole of State Street was just shut down. State Street is no big, it's just an enormous street of so much nonsense. And the whole thing was shut down, and the whole police force was out there taking care that everything was going to go on right. The wonderful thing. And I swear half of Chicago turned out for that.
Wow.
And we had people calling us on the radio for interviews. I mean, it was unreal. And Srila Prabhupada is throwing prasadam out to the people, and they're picking it up off the ground and eating it.
And the people that were picking it from the floor were devotees or non-devotees?
No, they're just there. They're just catching it like it's the greatest thing ever happened. And jumping and going crazy and taking prasadam.
Wow.
It's incredible to see that.
Yeah.
And it's happened. Really, it's just unreal. Srila Prabhupada could say anything and everyone's like, Never heard of it before, but yep, that's definitely true. It's like he was showing you something in your heart and you couldn't say, nah. You're like, oh yeah, I see that. So powerful, unreal, inconceivable. Hare Krsna. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajaka Stater Sita Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Shri Dadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And his very dear friend Om Vishnupad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. And Srila Guru Maharaj said, our relationship is very intimate. Who can imagine the intimate relationship between great devotees? We can't conceive of it. Oh, there's more stories coming up now. I'm remembering things. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Those two great souls, hearts combined, and Gurudev himself coming and continuing to spread this pure message, not adulterated with any junk. Simply astonishing. Hari Bol. Here, I'm going to give this to you.
Thank you.
Hari Bol.
Does he need some audio? Thank you.
And we're not hiding away. Devotees are not hiding away. Just go under the bed for the rest of their lives. Oh, the material world. We can see many things, but we know what they're leading to. And it is, this morning, and when I was getting ready, I was chanting that Jeev Jago. Ebe nag bajile jashoda sutta charame podi belaje. It's very important to remember, or lage, I don't know. But if this person or these persons are not going to worship the darling of Mother Yashoda, then what is waiting for them? What is the ultimate goal of life? Great sorrow at the time of death. So we can remember this and try to do some good as possible by us. But any endeavor will not be fruitless, even if they just see the front cover of this book. Srila Prabhupada said it to me. Hari Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madanamahan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madanamahan.
Shri Caitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra.
Radha Shiva Sai Gaur Bhakta-vrinda.
Radha Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda.
Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath.
Jaya Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raghunath.
Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath.
Hey Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandha.
Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandha.
Jai Devi Dana Shavista Pura.
Hoite Vingata Shama
Hey Jai Gosai Jamui Parada.
Jai Gosai Jamui Parada.
Tasavara Pararenu Mora Panchagra.
Dasavara Padarenu Mora Panchaga.
Tandra Charan Sevi Bhakta Saneva. Janame Janame More Apila. Hey Jai Gosai Jabe Bhaje Koilaba. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakar. Anande Bolo Hari Vrindavan. Shri Guru Vaishnava Parimachayama. Shri Guru Vaishnava Parapadma Koriya. Hari Nam Sankirtan Kohe Naratamada. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Jai Sapari Kashi Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pari Prajakacharya Astu Terasati Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pari Prajakacharya Astu Terasati Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Shri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai, Sannyasi Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivas Thakur Prabhu Ki Jai, Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Hari Bol. Suparshat Shriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai, Suparshat Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gopa, Gopinath, Shyamakunda, Radha Kunda, Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai, Tadiya Shaka Mat Ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Ki Jai, Kol Kartal Ki Jai, Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Bol, Dandavat, Dandavat.
So today, Bhima Krishna Prabhu,
Dandavat Bhima Prabhu,
Bhakti Muni,
Muni Dandavat Bhakti Muni,
and Shamus, the devotees, the dear devotees that visit us from Ireland.
Somya Sham.
Sham.
And Vijayananda Prabhu, Dandavat, Dandavat, Dandavat. Maybe I'll be seeing you in a month in England. In a little more than a month. All right, Dandavat, Dandavat, everyone. Hari Bol.